Hello everyone and welcome to part 9 of my self-publishing journey. We're nearing the end now, only one more video to go before this series is finished and my book is out and available for purchase. I had not initially planned on covering this subject, but then I kind of felt like I had to. So today we are talking about imposter syndrome. Let's just get into it. So, what is imposter syndrome? It is anxiety and self-doubt that results from persistently undervaluing one's competence and active role in achieving success, while falsely attributing one's accomplishments to luck or other external forces. I was mildly familiar with sensations of this kind throughout the process of writing Leaves of Holly. It usually came and went in waves as I was comparing myself and my writing to other people out there. Especially, amazingly talented, award-winning authors. The kind of people you should always compare yourself with. I admired their work so much and I couldn't shake the feeling that I was just a fraud trying to imitate a process that I was far from qualified to do, which is of course entirely untrue. But if it was that easy to just rationalize this in your mind, then imposter syndrome wouldn't really be an issue. Then I got to the point where I unboxed my book for the first time. I actually filmed this moment as I wanted to capture my first reaction to seeing my novel in print. But instead of being a moment of pure joy and excitement, as I had predicted, the footage is just unsettling. Imposter syndrome hit me like lightning from a clear sky. It was stronger than anything I had ever felt before, and I spent the rest of that afternoon crying. It feels so silly to say it out loud, but it really is true. I simply couldn't believe that I did this. This is my achievement. I felt like a pretend author and that my book is a pretend book. And I'm far from the only writer who's had feelings of this kind. So I asked a couple of writer friends to share their experiences with me, and I thought I would read those out to you right now. First up, we have my critique partner Ellie, who says, I've experienced imposter syndrome so many times during my writing process. Mostly it comes when I read or hear about others' work and then doubt my own. My best way of getting out of it, or the best way that I've found that helps, other than trying to ignore the voice, is talking to people. Arnella and my other friends, both writers and not, have helped me so much with continuing and not giving up. And then we have my writer friend Emily, who, like me, is a 2021 debut author, and she says, in my experience, imposter syndrome can and will strike at any stage in the writing process, from the very first draft all the way through to later edits and even in the process of marketing. I think it's helpful to see this as completely natural because we're working on something that's important to us and try to understand that it comes from a place of wanting to tell our stories to the best of our abilities. To combat imposter syndrome, I try to speak openly about it to other writers in the online community. I also try to remember that at each stage, I'm trying to improve my story little by little and to set reasonable expectations for myself, such as the first draft will not be perfect. And last but not least, we have my writer friend Cass, who was also one of my beta readers for my book. And she says, the first time I experienced imposter syndrome, it nearly destroyed me. As someone who lives and breathes writing, it was incredibly difficult to face that kind of doubt. I would love to say it is something I faced once and never faced again, but as a creative, it comes and goes. To overcome it takes a lot of self-love and patience. I try to be self-aware enough to identify the feelings versus the truth. Our doubt likes to tell lies, and so reminding myself that I am good at what I do, that people have supported me in this journey, helps guide me through the darkness. I like to pretend that my writing journey is my own quest of sorts. No quest is easy. That would be quite boring, wouldn't it? Very true, Cass. Very true. So, looking at these testimonials, it becomes clear that, first of all, this is completely normal. And secondly, how important it is to have support from people. It is also fickle because it comes and goes with no apparent pattern. But my interpretation is also that, in the end, it is you and only you who can cure your imposter syndrome. Because even if you have people in your corner holding your hand, cheering you on, no amount of support can make you finish a project if you do not believe that you can do it. Other people can make us feel better, but in my view, it is in our own self-acceptance that we find the realization that we are good enough. We did the work, we are doing the work, and we deserve our accomplishments. Or at least until the next time imposter syndrome hits and the cycle starts all over again. But as long as we make it out of the darkness in the end, I suppose that's okay. I'm curious to know what any of you watching thinks of imposter syndrome. Have you ever experienced it yourself, and how did you deal with it? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Like I said before, we're nearing the end of this series and Leaves of Holly is so close to release. I will upload a release special as soon as I know it is out and available for purchase. So thank you to Ellie, Emily and Cass for contributing in today's video, and thank you all so much for watching. And I hope to see you back next time.